and welcome to Vlogmas. That is right, we are in the middle of 35 days of uploads, and today I'm going to be ranking some palettes for y'all. I did a ranking video, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, I think this is going to be my last ranking until we do the yearly ranking, but I had a few palettes that I have been trying for a few weeks. I wasn't ready to rank in that video, but I've had some more time, and I was like, you know what? Y'all love seeing me torture myself and rank things, and I love doing it. It's fun. It's fun to rank things. So I figured let's get one more in before we do the big yearly ranking, because I actually do have a few things here that I want to give you my opinion on. So that's what we're going to do today. And if you are new here, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. Shimmer, glitter, ranking palettes, we are here for it. And it is Vlogmas. That means there are 35 days of videos. It started Sunday and it's going all the way until Christmas Day. So make sure you are subscribed if you don't want to miss out. But I can't wait to jump into it, so let's do it. Alright, before we get started with the ranking, I want to say a thank you to today's sponsor, Lily Silk. Now, I have worked with Lily Silk in the past, showing you their clothing and pillowcases, and I am very excited to work with them again because they make such quality silk products, and I love that they have cool, innovative pieces. I'm very excited. So first up, I'll talk about this top. This is a mulberry silk top. Now, if you are somebody like me who cares about the environment, which I do hope that you do, Lily Silk is very environmentally conscious. They're working with mulberry trees, mulberry silk. Mulberry trees need less water, so it's better for the environment. That way, they're working to be a zero waste company, which I think is very important. And they're working with 100% natural materials. I really like that they have innovative collections, innovative designs. I just really think that's important, especially for brands that I choose to work with. But let me tell you about this silk top. I love this top. You've seen me wear this in videos before. I think I was wearing it in my monthly favorites and hated video because I really wanted to try out the pieces, but I just love the details. First of all, I love the color. Y'all know green is my favorite color, so I picked out this top and I think it's just so beautiful. It doesn't get a lot of wrinkles, which I really like, and for me, I like to kind of grunge up nicer tops like this with my dagger necklace, some grungy silver jewelry. To me, that's just so fun. But you can also really dress this top up. You can wear it with denim like I do and some Converse, or you can dress it up with heels, maybe some nicer pants. And then I also tried out this cashmere sweater from Lily Silk. Y'all saw me wear this in my Lunar Beauty video, but I'm also going to insert a clip of me in the sweater again in case you missed that video. I really like this cashmere sweater because it is nice and lightweight. I like a sweater that is thin but soft and comfy, and this sweater is just, it's so beautiful, it's so luxurious. Everything about it I just really love. I think it's so beautiful, and the color for this time of year is just so perfect. I also wanted to say, if you were thinking about shopping Lily Silk, I definitely encourage you to check out the links down below. I think this would be perfect for their Black Friday sale to maybe gift it to somebody, gift it to yourself. All Lily Silk pieces do come in these beautiful boxes, just very luxurious, very giftable, I think. But I also got this beautiful velvet headband that I'm going to show you a close-up of. Just so cute. They offer so many things, and silk pillowcases, which is great for the skin. I have one for me and Dusty now. I'm going to insert a picture from their site instead of on my bed, but Silk pillowcases are just so good for your hair. If you're somebody who gets a lot of breakage, consider swapping to a silk pillowcase. I think it will help you a lot. Plus, it's great for the skin. You know, I'm not trying to give myself wrinkles unnecessarily. Like, I want to age gracefully. So I love that silk pillowcases are great for the skin, very breathable, less damage on your hair, just overall amazing. So definitely click the link down below. I will link to the pieces that I have from Lily Silk so you can check them out. Check out their Black Friday sale. And thank you again to Lily Silk for partnering with me on today's video. Okay, I think I have 10 palettes here to rank, so let's just get started. I'm going to pop the numbers on the screen just so I don't get off in my counting, but at the bottom, I'm putting this Sigma Spicy palette. Now, I have to say, all of the palettes that I'm going to rank today are great palettes. They are really good. The quality is good, but ranking is fun. So a lot of these are ranked based on my color preference or like shade preference, formula preference, all of that. So I'm just going to kind of review these palettes for you. This is how I like to review palettes in a ranking style. So this palette was gifted to me from Sigma. I got this in an advent calendar. And I did create a look with this palette on my channel, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful palette. I will try to remember and link the videos down below with these palettes. This is a beautiful palette. The thing for me is it's just very neutral. You can see today I like a little pizzazz to my makeup. And although I do love neutrals just as much as I love color, overall, this had to fall somewhere, and when I'm comparing it to the Fun Color Stories of the other palettes, I just decided to rank this one a little lower. I do think this shade right here, Maverick, is really special. It's a neutral shade, yes, but it has kind of this pink and almost purple shimmer to it that when you put it on the eyes, it's a neutral, but it's with something special. The mattes blend like a dream. I really like the Sigma eyeshadow formula. I like how small and compact this is, but when we're talking about color stories, it's not as exciting as some of the other ones. Okay, in the next spot, I ranked Beauty Bay and Dumbo. I bought the bundle of these palettes, so I will link that down below, and I think they may be on sale right now. But this color story is very cool, but it's something I don't feel super inspired by to play with it on its own. What I like to do with these all matte palettes is pull in some of my indie single palettes, like maybe my Plain Jane palette from Adept or one of my like Cleona multi-chrome shimmers and mix with these mattes. I bought this because it was part of the set. I do really like the matte Beauty Bay formula. I think this one is pretty, but the color stories of some of the other palettes I think are just a bit more up my alley. Okay, next up is a palette that was sent to me from Game Beauty. This is the Victory palette. And I really like this. First of all, I think the theming of Game Beauty is really cool and fun. I think these shadows are really, really nice. Like, let me show you. Look at that kind of copper shade. Isn't that pretty? And it has this pretty, like, glittery reflect to it that I think is very special. I'm very excited to have tried Game Beauty. Some palettes were sent to me from Game Beauty, and then I have bought also. I'll show you those, but look, the metallics are just very pretty. The color story is pretty. I put this shade on my eyes. I think I wore this maybe in a judging new makeup video, but I had a lot of fun with it. The mattes are really nice and pigmented. I think the packaging is so cute. I do have a code with Game Beauty. I'll list it down below, but I really like this palette. Again, all the palettes that I'm going to talk about are really good. I'm just kind of, all I can do is rank them based on my personal preference. But this is a mostly neutral palette with a pop of orange and two kind of teal pops. But I have another Game Beauty palette that you'll see later that I just really love. Okay, next up, I have my first purchase from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is the Surge palette. Now, I wasn't quite ready to rank this during the last ranking because this is a larger palette and I wanted to give myself time to play with every single shade in the palette before I ranked it for y'all. And I have to say, I really enjoy this. I know Blend Bunny is one of the favorite brands of my friend Karen Harris. So they first launched an all matte palette and I kind of resisted. I held off. I kept debating on getting it. But then when they showed this palette, it spoke to me. I was like, I have to have this. And I think it's just such an interesting layout where you have the pastels, the mid-tones, the very deep dark tones, a row of shimmers, and a row of neons. I did a video on this with 2 looks and I really liked the looks, how they came out. I think the mattes are very nice. They build on top of each other very well. I think the way this palette is laid out is also really, 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 really nice. Like, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, take it by column, stick to this column right here, get a beautiful, cool, monochromatic green look. You can also maybe break this down by quads and have some fun, like these 4 right here. When you see big palettes like this, look and see if it's laid out in a way that you can break it down, or maybe a 6-pan, something like that. I've had a really good time with this palette. I definitely understand why it gets the hype that it does. I also have fun like mixing and matching this palette. I'll grab this palette out for the mattes and then reach, like I said, maybe to like one of my It's Belle palettes for the shimmers and duochromes. It's a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see what Blend Bunny does next. And I also wanted to mention how light this palette is. Like, it's not really heavy, which I think is really nice. Like, if you're wanting to take this to travel or something like that, it's very lightweight while still feeling super high quality. Okay, these next 2 mini palettes I just really, really, really enjoy. Again, this is the Beauty Bay Alice in Wonderland, like the Disney collabs they did. I didn't mention before with the Dumbo palette, but these are all colors pulled from the movie. So Alice in Wonderland is from 1951 and these are colors pulled directly from the movie. This is one of my favorite mini palettes. The color story is just very me. I love the deep teal blue. I love the red, pink, purple. I love this color down here. I think it's very fun. I will link the video where I'm showing these down below. Disney actually launched 2 new mini palettes. I'm not ready to review those quite yet though. And then the next place goes to the Jungle Book. This one I think is ranking just a little bit higher because in terms of color story, it's different than other things I have. It's very muted but still saturated. Like, it's so interesting. Like, look at these colors. Isn't this fun? I've actually used this one the most, I think. I did a look where I took this shade right here and put it like all in the crease and then buffed it out with this shade and went in with a multi-chrome all over the lid, and it was just so easy and effortless and I loved every bit of it. I love this kind of like purpley blue jean color. I don't know, it's just very interesting, and the palettes tell you like what shade it is. Like, this is Jungle Tree Trunk from the movie. This is the Jungle Trees. Like, it's shades directly from the movie, and again, I just find that so fascinating, and the quality is there. Like, the quality is great. Okay, we're getting into the top 4. Top 4. The Harbinger palette from Game Beauty. I bought this palette when it launched. I do have a video up showing 2 eye looks and swatches. This is a really special palette. First of all, you think, oh, it's just a black eyeshadow. I love black eyeshadow, and this black is black. Like, this black is so good. Let me see if I can put the palette down and maybe swatch right here. Like, look at that. Look at how nice that is. It can be used as liner. It can be used to deepen other shades. I love it. It's so smooth and pigmented, and to me that is special because a lot of times companies try to do blacks and it's just like a throwaway shade, but this one is amazing. The color story in here is very interesting too, with the black, the purple, this kind of brick red. You have this metallic blue, and then this shade over here, Dawn. So beautiful. It's like a silvery to a purple to a pink shade. Again, you'll have to check out the video if you want to see like good arm swatches and all of that, but this palette for me is just very special. This blue seems to have kind of a black base to it, so it makes it super interesting with the rest of the palette. This color story I find inspiring, and I think the formulas in here are really nice. I love this, like, I love all the shades. I love the blacks and the silvers and the grays and the reds and the purple. Like, for such a curated color story, I mean, it's a 10-pan palette. I feel like there's so many options in here. I've reached for this when going to work too. I've put like a light gray in the crease, deepened it up with the purple, and then went in with this shade all over the lid, put a little black on for eyeliner, and I can be quick out the door and still feel like I was able to be creative and fun with my makeup that day. It's really a special palette. This was the first palette I bought and tried from Game Beauty, and kind of can't wait to see what they do next. Next up, I'm ranking the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. Now this one was a little harder to rank because it does have face and eye products in here. I did do a video on this palette, and let me just see if I can lift up this flap. Do you see how much I've used the blush? This is the blush and highlight I'm wearing today. This formula is a very buildable formula. I love the color. I don't think I said, I have the face palette in dark. She came out with a light and dark version, and I decided to buy the dark because the eyeshadows in this palette, of course, were darker than the light palette. But again, this is the blush and highlight I have on today, and I've had this palette sitting on my desk. It hasn't been put away because I'm reaching so much for this blush and highlight shade. It's just so beautiful to me. I don't know like how you feel, but I feel like this looks like my skin. Like the products have sunk into the skin in a way that's really blurred and beautiful. And I also had a really great experience with these eyeshadows down here. I mean, it's only 5 shades, but they are beautiful and they are deep and dark. Even this lightest shade right here has a darker base to it so that it's very pigmented and vibrant. I just enjoy this so much. We actually had like a Christmas holiday type dinner thing that Dusty and I got invited to, and this is the palette I reached for because I definitely feel like the Glam Face Palette is the perfect name because I felt very, very glam in this palette. The quality in here is amazing. Natasha Denona makes some of my favorite matte eyeshadows, if not my favorite matte formula. Like, it's just so nice and beautiful, and I've gotten a ton of use out of this, even though I've only had it for not that long. Like, I've just been reaching for it so much. Okay, number 2 goes to the newest palette in my collection. This is the Melt Cosmetics Holiday Palette. I'm not sure if this is called Amore Mariposas. Okay, I knew that the whole collection was called that, but I didn't know if that was the name of the palette. So first of all, stunning artwork. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It feels heavy. It feels luxurious. The monarch butterflies are raised, which I love. This is raised. The hummingbirds, they have like a sentimental, like special meaning to me, which I won't even get into because it doesn't matter right now, but I love the hummingbirds. I love the butterflies. I love the heart. Like, the artwork I think is just so fun. And then I open the palette and I just feel inspired to create looks. Even though this is the newest palette in my collection, I have worn every shade on the eyes. The wear time on these shadows, amazing. Put it on, wear it all day, 12 plus hours. They're still going to look beautiful and vibrant at the end of the day. I do have a video up. I actually did 5 looks with this palette on my channel, so I will link that down below for y'all. I know y'all like when I do a lot of looks, so since this is a larger palette and it is more expensive, I wanted to show you a ton of looks. So I have a video using every shade, and it's just a very special palette. I don't know if I want to be this bold, but I'm pretty sure this is my favorite Melt palette ever. Every single shade worked well for me. Now, I will say, like, these 2 shades are pretty similar, especially when you get them on the eyes, but that doesn't bother me. I think it helps create a beautiful blend. I like that this palette goes very light to very dark. This is a mostly matte palette, We only have 6 shimmery metallic shades. Again, the inside is beautiful with this mirror with the butterflies around. I really love this. I think this is so nice and beautiful. So it had to get a high ranking from me. One thing when I do these rankings, I like to have tried and tested every shade, and I like to have tested the palette multiple times so I can really give you my full thoughts, because I want to give you full reviews of palettes, and I have to say I really, really love this one. I'm sure nobody is surprised that the number one palette, the palette I have on my eyes today, is Amonette New from Adept Cosmetics. So this is the first palette we're seeing from Adept with this new matte formula. These mattes, to me, remind me of the Natasha Denona matte formula, which I said earlier is my favorite. So these mattes are amazing. They build and blend so well on top of each other. This is the palette I have on today. I'm wearing Toth, Amon, Imhotep, Pa, and Anubis. Those are all the shades I have on today. The mattes layer on top of each other so well, which I find so important. I can go from darkest to lightest or lightest to darkest. It doesn't matter when I'm creating an eye look. It always looks beautiful. This shade right here, Ra, looks like maybe one of my favorite eyeshadows in my collection. The way it shifts from silver to purple to green is beautiful. I did do a video eye swatching this palette, so check that out if you want to see all of these on the eyes. I think you can see the shifts a lot better in that video. I also did arm swatches in different types of lighting, but the multi-chromes in here are just out of this world with this shade here, and then Bassett that is like a gold, copper, green, all kinds of things. It's just amazing. One of my favorite palettes in my collection. I have been reaching for it so much. I'm not sure. I think you can probably see how used this palette is because I love it so much. I also love the packaging. I love how sleek it is. It's clean lines. It looks luxurious to me. It's my favorite. Adept just makes my favorite eyeshadows. I think this is so stunning. Everything about this I love. This shade right here, I mean, I could go on and say I love this shade, I love this shade, I love this shade. Like, this blue is magical. I love everything about this palette. So this has to be my number one palette right now. Alright y'all, I really hope that you enjoyed this ranking video. I'm very excited to rank all the palettes I tried this year. I cannot believe we're at that time. Like, I need to start working on that. I need to start looking through my palettes, ranking them, but I will be ranking all the palettes I tried for 2021. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for 35 Days of Heather, where I'm doing daily uploads. I will be uploading on Christmas Day as well. And if you're new, check out some of my older videos. I do have videos, I think, on most all of these palettes, so I will try to link those down below for y'all. But thank you again for watching. Thank you, Lily Silk, for sponsoring this video. Y'all make sure to check out the links down below if you're curious, and I will see y'all tomorrow in a new video. Bye!